4B is shorthand for 4 Korean words that all start with B or no.
Majesty, you gotta watch this. Now, I hope that you're doing all right. Thanks for coming back. If it's your first time coming on here, please do subscribe to this channel and join the family. I'm telling you all, this video is packed, okay? And you're gonna have to just stick around, okay, to the end of this video. So it's talking about the 4B movement. It's a movement in South Korea, a women's movement in South Korea, and it's just women saying no to these 4 things that you're going to hear it getting explained. And some videos here are an example of why some Korean women in the group of women have chosen to do that. Now, they're not the only ones, of course. It's rising around the world to say no to these 4 things that you're going to hear in the video. And someone also explains, a black woman explains how when she was in Korea, she got, I could just say, harassed by this man who was following her while his wife was even watching. Literally, like, where have you been? I should have married you instead. Like, he's showing a hate for his own type of women, like his own type of people. Then how would he be able to love another from like another race or another country? It just doesn't make sense, really. Like, if you hate your people so much, somebody who looks like your mother so much, how are you going to expect you're going to love somebody better? And there's also a man who's saying that women, by doing this, are just following them because he doesn't want to pick up on women that have been used, that have lost their body counts, their single mothers and stuff like that. You know, like he made dirty up women. You get my point? And people have responded to him, the man you're seeing right here, not just a woman, but also some men, because some things that he's saying don't make sense to others. Anyway, enough talking. Let me write these videos and stitches, and I'm gonna be back.
Listen, some of y'all ladies gonna have to settle. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but listen, everybody can't have a perfect man out here. It ain't even enough of us around, like, let's be honest.
I think men are way too comfortable sleeping next to people who resent them, which is essentially what settling leads to. But putting that aside, I believe the reason that a lot of cishet men think that being alone is worse than being with someone who makes you hate your life is because they don't date men. And because they don't date men, they severely underestimate just how much being with the wrong man can screw up your life. I've noticed that on average, when a woman settles for a man, nothing totally consequential happens to his life. But a man who is settled for a woman is going to make it extremely apparent in a variety of detrimental ways. When some men get with the wrong woman, their lives can be negatively changed for a season. But when a woman gets with the wrong man, the trajectory of her life can change for its duration. Fellas, I'm telling you, when women say that they would rather be alone, they are not lying, they are not bluffing. And I think a lot of men are in deep denial about their impact on women's lives, mainly due to patriarchy and byproduct of that, misogyny. But yeah, I mean, getting on the internet and openly admitting that men ain't shit and they need women more than women need them is a choice, but you do you, boo.
4B is shorthand for 4 Korean words that all start with B or no. The first no, bihan, is the refusal of heterosexual marriage. Bichulsan is the refusal of childbirth. Biyonye is saying no to dating. And bisexu is the rejection of heterosexual sexual relationships. They said no to heterosexual marriage, no to childbirth, no to dating, and no to hooking up with dudes. They're done. Finished.
4B movement is a victory for us because we told them we don't want no old single mothers. They hit the wall, they're over 30, they had children before they got married, and they got a high body count. They're doing us a favor.
I don't care how many men make videos like this, act like they don't care that women don't want to marry them or have their children. We're all very well aware that there is a single male loneliness epidemic going on right now. There's not a single women loneliness problem. The 4B movement is about decentering men, and here they are doing what they always do, and that's putting themselves in the center of somebody else's movement. They have been trying their hardest to co-opt any movement that women get. We say we want a soft life, here they are talking about they're in their soft guy era. We say sprinkle, sprinkle, now they're talking about drizzle, drizzle. Like every time we make a movement, they try to mirror us. How are you the leader when we're always following us? I guess we must be the leaders. I think the men are becoming afraid because they're realizing a woman's power. When they see these decreasing rates of marriage and childbirth, they're realizing that it's the women who have decided to make it that way. So they've always come up with some kind of scare tactic, some kind of manipulation, but the latest tactic is to act like it was their idea. We actually like this, right, fellas? We wink wink. Yeah, we this is what we want too. No, this isn't what you want, but it is what you're going to get. The manipulation and scare tactics aren't working, and they never will. You're going to have to do the one thing you have been avoiding the whole time, and that is change and become a better man if you ever want to be with any one of these women. No one is settling for you anymore.
The 4B movement is going to force men to be red pill. It doesn't matter if you're single, married, in a relationship. You're going to be forced to be a red pill, brother.
That's false. Any man who has an issue with the 4B movement is already red pill. But they had more to say. Go on.
You're already a red pill man right now. This 4B movement is a victory for us because everything that...
Well, we've already established that any man who has an issue with the 4B movement is already red pill. But it's not a victory. It's a reactionary movement that's hurting your feels.
And this is why they have to do what they have to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because we told them we don't want no old single mothers. We don't want women with high body count.
Well, something's not clicking, right? Because if that was true, then you wouldn't spend as much time talking about it as most of you red pill men do. But that's also why I think the 4B movement is reactionary, because imagine spending most of your time talking about what you're not interested in, who you won't date. Like, what's at the end of that journey? See, it is my opinion that the people who are at the core of this, the people who are really dug in, not the people who are just invested for multiple reasons, but the people who are like pushing the agenda, are a bunch of bitter, broken people from their previous relationships, right? And those who are supporting or invested, might be doing it for various reasons. Some people are like, yay, women, but this specific one, because I don't believe trans women are actually women. Like, you're going to find a whole lot of people who don't align with your principles in almost any movement that pops up and presents itself to be a counter to what's oppressing them. And the only utility I see in conversations like this is to examine the parts that trigger me so I can dig in and I can remove those parts that lead me to being reactionary. Because at the end of the day, at the end of this conversation, the root source is heteronormative, predatory behavior patterns. That's all it is.
So I have been seeing people comment this 4B movement thing, and like
I personally love how I get 0 roses, how us dudes get 0 roses. It's like they follow in our footsteps and don't even realize it. And before I start roasting people or whatever, right, I just find it kind of sad that you need the Korean women copulate a plan because they're actually going through something tragic to then hijack it and then pull it over here like you have actual issues. Find it extraordinarily disingenuous. And then you want to like word off and flap out the mouth like this is some universal, like this is a new concept no one has ever thought of before. It's like you guys follow in our footsteps and you don't even realize. Guys did this before you and we're still doing it now. It's not special just because you're doing it. B4 is just literally men going their own way but for women. And I care not because movements don't have copyright plagiarism. So it's cool. You can follow in our footsteps. We don't decenter men from your life. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm just putting a little thought process out there. I'm pretty sure quite literally every single feminist movement nowadays has been working at that already. Not being a housewife, not being pleasing to dudes, not being agreeable. You guys have already been actively decentering men from your life. So you didn't need an actual movement to do anything. You guys have been doing wonderful by yourself. All I'm going to say is I want to stop hearing the where are all the good men? Why don't men approach me? Why this? Why that? I want to hear that on my feed no more. All right. If you want to break up and you want to die alone, go ahead. That's not my prerogative, and I'm not with you. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women that also aren't with you. You can take your bitterness and the corner of the internet that you're on, because you're chronically online, obviously. Go choke on it. Peace.
Oh my. Man. Why was he so angry? What was he? What? What? I don't have nothing to say. I don't argue with people who are dead set on not understanding or not getting the fucking point. But if y'all was already doing it and we doing it now, so then we both doing it and y'all leave us the fuck alone. So still sounds like we win. Haven't really seen on my side of the internet why men don't approach me. Haven't really seen on my side of the internet where the good men. I think we're all in acceptance that like the good men are in high demand and low supply. So yeah. Okay.
This man just yelled at me in the street. Then his wife came running after him. Let me tell you what happened. So I'm from New York. I live in South Korea. Walking down the street, minding my business. I'm hearing this man yelling after me. Hey, hey. So I turn around. He's like, where were you? Fuck. So I start walking. Of course. Bro, he starts following behind me, yelling, where were you? I start walking faster. Turn around. Because, like, what is going on? And he said, where were you? What country are you from? I'm like, okay, I'll entertain you. America. Why? And he's like, oh, okay. You're pretty. You look really different. Just like, the fuck, duh. Sir, this man is my dad's age, okay? It's like an ajushi. Of course, I keep walking on the way to the cafe. So now I stopped to wait for the light. Tell me why he said, if I knew girls like you were coming to Korea, I would have never married my wife. Where were you? Okay? But bro, that's not the crazy part. He says, don't tell my wife I said that. And I'm like, what? Where's your wife? He's like, right there. So on the way there, I had passed a lady making kimbap at this little stand. Tell me why his wife is the kimbap lady. And she's running behind us now in the street, chasing him, yelling for him to get back there. And she's like, leave that girl alone. That's why they reported you the last time. You want to get locked up again?
The 4B movement initially gained recognition on Twitter in 2019 and through various feminist social media accounts. One notable feature of the 4B movement, as with other Korean digital feminist movement, is that members often identify themselves as anonymous women, as it is conventional not to disclose personal details online. This digital movement functions as an online community where women engage in open discussions about navigating and envisioning a future without men. It serves as a platform for women to vent their frustrations and concerns about living in a conservative society while fostering a sense of solidarity. Additionally, the platform aims to motivate and inspire women to protest against dating, engaging in sexual relationships, getting married, and having children. Through a robust social media presence, the movement seeks to raise awareness and recruit more advocates to amplify its impact. Although the exact membership remains uncertain, estimates suggest a range of 5,000 to 50,000 participants. The movement in South Korea emerged from a series of previous social movements that gained traction on social media. So it's definitely not this is not the only one. The many feminist movement going on out there, the corset, escape the corset movement, and etc. Some that just suggest your body is your body, you don't need to touch it up for you to, please somebody else, lose your belly, and just be you, do you, don't do makeup and stuff like that. There's a whole lot going on here, but it must really hurt, and people must have been so traumatized. Like, the society has been so traumatizing for women to get to such a point. Like, decisions don't just happen, you guys. I just really believe decisions don't just happen. It's things that people, things that women have had to go through that have pushed them to this kind of level where they feel like existing by themselves and doing things by themselves is nothing selfish or any of that sort. Because there's some men that have come on and say you're being selfish, you don't want to have kids and stuff like that. Like, if I have kids, they're my responsibility and I'm gonna have to take care of them. So people are now beginning to choose to just live by themselves, not get married, not, like they're saying, and research has found that most women that are child free, or should I say that are not married, are happier. I'm not married, are happier than those that are. I don't know how true that is, but definitely there are marriages that are beautiful and people can admire that, and genuinely there are good marriages. But there's also others that others want to run away from. Let me know what you think about all of this. Do you want to join the 4B movement as a woman? What do you think about this as a man? Whatever is going on here, and women just trying to say bye, man, like that patriarchal society, forget about me and stuff like that. And do you think the 4B movement is a gain or a loss to society? Do comment below, you guys, what you think about all of this. It's a lot going on in this world. You and I are literally just catching up at this point. Anyway, do subscribe to this channel because I do have more for you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Did I mention like 2 months ago I posted about this movement and now it's really coming back and going viral? Do check that video out too.